Radio. Shout it.
Hot 1079, it's your boy B Hot Radio. Shout in, stepping in the building. I got my fam in this thing. Producer, director, content creator, agency owner, Steve Raze. What's good with it,
Man,
bro?
what's up, brother, man? How you doing, man? Thank you so much.
Man, appreciate you for coming on, Steve. Now, I mean, from what I understand, you got a new project that's about to move the entire culture forward. Break it down to me, man.
First and foremost, thank you so much, B High, man. This is honestly an honor. I've been doing content for so many years, and I had always told you I was gonna give you my first TV show. So Revolt TV, thank goodness, man. Revolt sees the picture. They're very social conscious and music related network, and Diddy owns it. You know what I mean? So it's very, very, very dope. And we pitched in my idea about. Once the March on Washington was announced, we knew that there was a congregation of a lot of people coming together in D.C. And it was for the 57th year anniversary of Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. Mm-hmm. So we started mobilizing and putting the mothers of the movement together. And we saw that people like Sabrina Fulton, who's Trayvon Martin's mother, Miss Gardner, Eric Gardner's mother, people that came out we saw something big, and we just saw that the movement and the march and the police brutality that's been happening since then and since the inception of America basically, and it's still going on. So they personify what our strife is today. Like they're the mothers of the survivors of the victims. So we saw that there was a story there. So we started in DC, took the mothers. And it expanded. It just got bigger. We couldn't do this without Breonna Taylor's mother. Come on. So we went to Kentucky, brought in that movement. Ben Crump, Lanita Baker. Those are the lawyers of the estate of Breonna Taylor, and of course Tamika Palmer, who is Breonna Taylor's mother. So we had to bring her in. We had to get her side, her story, the lawyer side. Tamika Mallory. Until Justice, come on, my son, that they're a huge movement, and they live in Kentucky fighting for Breonna Taylor's justice. So after we got that, we couldn't do and not include Atlanta and not include like the strife that's going on here, and then who bigger to bring this home than someone like T.I., the King of the South. And so we needed someone that name, that somebody that's going to let you and me and us hip hoppers and the younger kids and whatever just to stand up and say, yo, if T.I. is saying this, then maybe I should pay attention.
That's right.
So that's how big it got. It came from a march in D.C. to coming to Atlanta with T.I. and Revolt loved the idea. They accepted it, and they're backing it 150%, man. And that's an amazing thing for me to do my first TV show or documentary on television, and it's about Black Lives Matter, bro. So here we are today.
That's beautiful, Steve. Now, my first question is this. What was it like for you talking to the mothers of the movement and having them to rehash and relive those experiences to date?
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you, man, I mean, I forgot how much a project like this takes out of you. And, I became, as not only as a filmmaker, but then a director, you got to be there every step of the way. And at first, the march wasn't that bad. It was crazy because at the march, we had a lot of the mothers. We had Oscar Grant's mother. We had a lot of the mothers. We had Miss Opal, who's very instrumental in Juneteenth. And so at that time, I was just hyped, you know what I'm saying, to get the word out. But when we went to Kentucky, I mean, fam, I'm like looking at the mural, the Breonna Breeway that they're putting up and just honoring Breonna Taylor in front of I think it was City Hall. So, and they were saying we weren't doing this so that when the police officers walk out and they'll see Breonna Taylor's image all the time. And then I'm like, they're putting 17 pictures up on the road, and people are shouting, disparaging things at her mother or the team or the lawyer. And I'm just like, why would people just do this when you know that she was slain in such a dishonorable way? Yeah. If you're black or white or whatever, nobody would accept that. So why would there be so much hate? So then they're telling me this stuff, and they got the bright, you know, the strong chin, and they're just, you know, just marching forward. And fam, it just took a lot. Like Kentucky took a lot out of me. Seeing Breonna Taylor's mother, like just not cry, not wince, just say I want justice, just be stern and at it, made me want to cry. You know what I mean? Just have me inside, just feeling like, yo, I want to cry for you, but she did all her tears. Mm-hmm. So she's a fighter now. She's an activist. Mm-hmm. So it also took a lot out of me that gave me strength, because you see them fight.
Okay. Coming from the spectator standpoint too, Steve, because I mean, all of these mothers, you saw them on the news and you felt their pain from afar. But to be able to be up close and personal with them, man, which mother do you feel like kind of impacted you the most, or, you know, had something about them that you weren't expecting?
So I think I'm going to go back to the one that was most relevant, because I'm going to still go back to Breonna Taylor, because we spent the most time with her. And I think, to me, I think none of them, first of all, no death is equal or greater or whatever. So for me to even make this opinion, but for you to ask me about what affected me the most, to see someone like Tamika Mallory, my son, I look at my son and I'm like, I know my son from the hip hop days, you know? Yeah. I'm looking at my son like a straight social justice warrior and a leader. My son, a general, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I look and then I'm talking to my son, you know, a little bit on the hip hop stuff, but we all on the social justice stuff. So it's like, yo, I see the growth of hip hop. So now I look at someone like my son, I look at Tamika Mallory, I look at Linda Sassour, I look at them, and they're literally what moved me about, of course, Breonna Taylor, like I said, it's horrendous, but they moved to Kentucky. So for Tamika Mallory to say, we staying in this house, we just took 30 days, we're gonna stay here until we get justice. That to me is like, yo, Tamika Mallory just said that. So they're gonna fight to this justice. So for me to see other people mobilize on such a high level, because Tamika Mallory's bringing people. Mm-hmm. She's bringing people. So it just moved me. Like I said, that whole Kentucky scenario moved me in such a way. And my hat goes off to Tamika Palmer, Breonna Taylor's mother, and Lenita Baker, Ben Crump. They all got a big uphill battle, but they're going to get justice. They got the $12 million, and that's just what the civil suit is. But where's the justice, you know? So
answer me about the civil suit side of things, though, Steve. How did that impact the families and the mothers? Did they give them any kind of feeling of, you know, reprieve from the pain, or was it just like, you know what, fuck this money?
So it was crazy because we were there when that settlement went down. So we asked them those questions. And that was the most important thing. Honestly, that actually made the doc, you know, because we asked her a bunch of questions. And one of them, I asked her, I said, now that you got that 12 million or whatever, does the fight, do you stop the fight? And she looked at me as like, nah, the fight never stops until there's justice. So the 12 million was kind of like lipstick on a pig in the sense that it looked pretty, but it's still a pig, you know what I'm saying? And it's not bringing justice. It's not going to do anything. Ben Crump, the lawyer, I mean, he was fired up. So all of that is in there. We talk about some of that, but in a nutshell, nobody is giving up. No one stopped. That's why, like I said, Tamika Mallory's like, we staying here longer. That all came during the decision. She's like, who cares? We moving here. So nobody cares about that.
When you brought it back home to the A and you talked to T.I., what was his thoughts and opinions on the stuff that was going on?
Man, shout out to T.I. He's just an OG and a legend. So first and foremost, he had probably some of the most powerful things to say. And I will say this, he's not just a fighter, he's a general too. He's on this movement in such a way that he not only does he know it, but we know that there's an action plan, and he's like, go vote. Ultimately, you guys got to vote. So when someone like T.I. says go vote and has he has a go vote shirt on, he's telling y'all this is how we make the change today anyway, because it's October. So we can make the change in the election now. Not to make fundamental change, he has a plan for that. You got to watch the doc to see. But I will say this, he said something that's so powerful that he said a movement, I'm just paraphrasing that the people that are against a movement in history, the people that are always been against that movement, whatever the movement is, they always lost.
They lost the change.
They lost to change.
Yeah,
and that's how we, you saw that. So that's how we cranking it up. And it's so powerful because just that, when he said that, that was the most powerful thing I think he said. Mm-hmm. It was like, y'all are gonna lose. So I get it. There's a white supremacy and there's a white elitist, let's say, not supremacy, but white elitists, and they don't want to lose their power. I get it. Yeah. But the tides are changing. Diddy's proved it. Jay-Z's proved it. There's so many people, entrepreneurs, there's black entrepreneurs, billionaires come, well, not billionaires, but millionaires forming every day. And it's just like we're getting our wealth and our power, and we get our knowledge, and we're now taking it back. This doc is part of what I want to do. Not only, I don't want to protest. I'm an old man. It's my birthday today, D-High Ty.
Happy birthday, Steve!
Yeah, so I'm an old man. The protest is over for me, but the documentary inspires other people so then they could take on the fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we are with that.
Steve, I can't have you in here without talking about the Steve Raze story. Okay. I mean, talk about just the agency and what you've been doing behind the scenes, the first 48s and all of that extra stuff that you put down for the culture.
So, man, as a content creator, thank you, B-High, you taking it back. I mean, I started, you already know, I started in this game with all hip hop years ago, and they've afforded me the opportunity to take risks, and I did taking some risks in the game that I didn't know I could achieve. Like I interviewed T.I. 10 years ago, and I did some stuff with T.I. on the content side that is amazing. Like I had, when that T.I. versus Tip album, I had T.I. interview Tip. So we literally said, yo, I need T.I. to do a full wardrobe change. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to dress up with Tip with his glasses and his hat and his jacket and be Tip. And T.I. is going to be the rapper with the gold chains and all that. And we pulled it off. And it did amazing. And that was just content that back then it was the internet. You do whatever you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you take it to next 48 hours, back then, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, no one had a in-house video guy filming what Rick Ross does every second of the day. That was Twitter. This was pre-World Star. This was pre-everything. This was pre-video. So I was like, man, what do they do in the camp? What happens in that 48-hour time frame when they're releasing their album? So I had the ability to, me and my partners, get all hip hop and jump off TV. We partnered up and we followed Jadakiss, Fabulous, Nas, Damian Marley, Rick Ross, French Montana, Nelly, The Game in LA, Wale, man, the list goes on and on. We did over 20 of them. Master P, God Rest the Dead, Prodigy, Mobb Deep. We did one with Prodigy and one with Mobb Deep. We did like 20 of them. And
which one of those impacted you the most? Give me your top 3, Steve, and tell me what about each one just really resonated with you.
Top 3, it's going, I don't know if in this order it always changes, but Raekwon, Wale, and Nas and Damian Marley. Raekwon, because he took a 6-year break and then he came back with Only Built for Cuban Links 2, which was classic in itself. And then we followed him. And it just was OG coming back in the game. And we captured all of it and he loved it. And we made that one. It was 3 parts. We made that into our first 30-minute documentary. Mm-hmm. So that was just amazing. Wale was his first album. So Wale has his emotions on his sleeve. Yeah. So when they undershipped his album, they had sent like 50 units to Tower Records or whatever in DC. That's very low for DC. So he sold out immediately, but it was just like, wow, I just sold 50 records. You know what I mean? I didn't sell 5,000 in that location. I only sold 50. So he got pissed. He literally wrecked his hotel room. And I'm like waiting for him at Jimmy Fallon. Like, Jimmy Fallon. That's a big name. So Wale's an hour late. And then he's like, listen, Steve, I'm going to tell you, turn the camera on. And he's like, listen, I'll piss. And he told me why. Because they undershipped him, this and that. And I wrecked my room. So that's why I can tell you, because he told us. He put his emotions out there. And then the third one, like I said, Nas, or the first one. I mean, come on, man. Damian Marley by himself is just an OG. You know, jam rocking and just the whole Caribbean vibe, Jamaican vibe. He's a legend. Marley goes deep. But then you got Nas, and they did an album called Distant Relatives. So at that time, I was kicking next 48 hours, and I was like, I gotta get Nas. I mean, wait, this label's gonna pay me to film Nas and Damian Marley, and I could direct and produce this? Yes. So honestly, the reason why, because Nas is such a legend, and I asked him, listen, bro, I take my shot on everything. I'm the illest producer out there. So when I asked, I'll tell you two secrets. For one, I never told too many people this, but I caught Nas. He's looked at MTV, and he got out of his chair. You know, he was just tired. You know what I mean? I just saw him. I said, turn the camera on. And as soon as Nas walked through the door, because we couldn't go through the door, MTV was filming. But as soon as you could, as soon as he walked out the door, we could turn our cameras on. So I said, Nas, are you tired of hip hop? And he said, yeah. And I said, what? And then he caught himself. And he said, yeah, sometimes I wake up, I get tired, but then I put my foot on one foot at a time. I put my pants on and I go face the day. And I said, oh, snap, Nas cleaned it up. But I caught him for that 1 second. You know you're a journalist, so you knew be high tide. You got to catch him. Yeah. So, and then, hold on, the last one, straight up, this is a gem, man. I never told anybody this is you. So me and my partner was like, we need to do something big for Wale. So, cause we was catching steam, we was like, we did our first 4, we didn't get paid. But after like Ghostface Killer, like after Raekwon, Ghostface Killer was coming out, and they started, no, Rick Ross was our first one we got paid on. So I was like, wait, we get paid to do this? So we was getting paid to do this. So it's like, let's take some of the budget to do something crazy. So we went to a sex shop and bought a dildo. Okay, follow me, son. Then I said, yo, we gonna have one of these girls in this line, because it was an album release line, so they was signing the albums, the CDs. It was like attention deficit. Wale, it was like 10, 11 years ago, about 10 years ago. So back then it was signing the CDs. That's what y'all did. So I went through the line, and I just looked at this one. I looked at these girls, and I was just like, yo, you don't know me, but I'm trying to do something with Wale. We doing a little film thing. Here, I want you to have Wale sign this dildo. And so I pulled the shit out, and she I don't know about girls, but yo, she said, hell yeah. So now we all in position. I got my I said, yo, that's her. You know what I mean? So my cameraman's in position. He's next to Wale. We're ready. And then Shorty comes up and pulls the dildo out like, please sign my dildo. So Wale goes one of those, like, yo, and like, yo. And then he says, who gave this to you? And Shorty looked at me, turned around and pointed at me. And then all I did, because there's a wave of people. A wave of people started looking at me. So you know what I did, B-High? I did one of these too. and then my cameraman, he said, Steve, everyone, if you didn't turn your head, they would have knew it was you. But when I did that too, I was just like, what's going on? I knew what time it was with the dildo. I seen it. Everyone seen it. So, you know what I mean? You couldn't deny the fact. Hold on, I got Lady Luck. I got it. Look, I got an interview. This Lady Luck, my business partner. Lady
What's that, lady?
I just wanted to say happy birthday, bro.
She wished me happy birthday. I'm gonna talk to you later. Thank you. All right. So I got a business. We're gonna talk about Lady Luck. She's my business partner. So
okay.
So anyway, as to catch you up with my content and all that, I know this is a little long-winded, but I'm telling you, just to get that reaction and to just say that we pulled it off. They literally said, I said, we're running that as a trailer. And they was like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? He was signed to Rock Nation. So Rock Nation had to approve all the footage. So we was like, no, that doesn't go good to Wale's brand. I was like, why not? He didn't sign it. Well, it still doesn't. I was like, it's shock value. You know what I mean? I'm fighting as a director. I was like, it's a shock value. They was like, no. I said, I'm putting it into the next 48 hours anyway. But I wanted to do, because we got these little 30-second teasers. So that was going to be my teaser to blow it up. So that was like the most shocking moment in that for me. But like I said, I think the original question you said was the content and just building content from back then when Next 48, I moved and did different things, but I moved into loving hip hop. I went into television to learn really, I mean, fam, I ran allhiphop.com. So I was the executive vice president to take a desk seat in a production company, and people will literally walk in and be like, Steve, Raze, what's up? Like people getting interviewed for Love and Hip Hop, be like, celebrities would go change, be like, fam, you work here, son? I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, son, yeah. I'm like, yeah, son. And I ain't gonna say names, I don't want name drop because I was a casting producer. But the second year, I worked there 3 years. I worked from home in my pajamas, son, in Atlanta, you know, and I cast some of the biggest names on that show. And I learned the game. So I humbled myself, and I didn't have TV experience, but I went to TV. I mean, I got paid for it. Yeah. I got paid a lot of money. I got paid more money in television than I did at anywhere in my life. So I'm not even gonna say I humbled myself. Yeah. It was just the fact that, you know, you took a 9-to-5 desk job, like hell yeah. To learn the game I did, and I only had to do it for like 2 months. And then after that, I worked from home. I was a producer. I worked from home. So I worked in Atlanta. So my job was to go and hit the streets and find talent. So, and I got to Tokyo Vanity. I got Akbar V. You know what I'm saying? These are big names. They stars now.
Exactly.
So, you know what I mean? So I was like, so be hot. After I learned that I could do this for Mona, and you know, I love Mona. Thank you very much, Stephanie. I respect y'all for giving me the chance. I was like, I could do this too. Yep. So that was 2019. That's the last year I worked at Love and Hip Hop. And this year, 2019, 2020, I partnered with Lady Luck. Like I said, she's one of my business partners. We worked on a reality show, and after that, I just wanted to only work on content. So the first company I got is the greatest productions with Lady Luck, and I'll start there, bro. Me and her we're pitching shows to WeTV. We got shows on Netflix. I got a call tomorrow with a production company with a story that's historic in hip hop. So, I mean, Luck is just a legendary, you know, MC anyway, and she's the certified platinum artist on Def Jam. Like, man, come on. So she's got history, but she knows everyone. She's a hustler. So now we got about 3 projects that are smoking. And then to go with the agency, I formed the agency 6 months ago, man. Like officially, we formed in April. But my partner is Mac Mills, and he came to me with Antonio Brown. I'm like, Antonio Brown, you wanna, like, he got music? Like, yeah, let's run him. Let's see what we can do. First thing we did was book him on Kevin Hart. So Kevin Hart's podcast. Then we ran him from Miami to New York to Atlanta. So about 80% of what you heard from Antonio Brown for 2020 just came from AGA agency. You know what I'm saying? We got him on TMZ. We got him on Breakfast Club. We got him on ESPN. We got him on Page 6. I mean, it was crazy. We canceled something on Sirius Radio and it made Page 6 because we canceled it. It was crazy, man. But that's Antonio Brown.
What about Master P, though, Steve? Being able to work with the godfather of Southern hip hop rap at the same time. What has that been like? Because y'all been rocking for some time too.
So it's an honor, man. First of all, shout out to P. He's just my mentor. I can't say enough about him. He's taught me the game, you know what I'm saying? And I met him in all hip hop, and we just gravitated. Like, you know, the story, you know, even how we meet. I'm a media dude, you know, in general. So, and I knew Charlamagne's my homie. So he's like, "Can you get me on Charlamagne's show?" And I was like, "Yeah, if I get you on Charlamagne's show, I'm gonna get you everywhere. So, you know, you Master P. So if I get you here, I'm gonna get you everywhere." And he's like, "Oh, just go do it, man." So I did it. You know, and then that was like eight years ago, bro. And since then, I mean, I'm not gonna say too much, but I basically made myself his brand manager, and anything that you see, I'm not his publicist. He has a publicist, but just like you saw Antonio Brown so many places, you've probably seen Master P a lot of places. This year, I had him on the Breakfast Club too. I had him a lot of places, and the relationship that I learned from him was your brand is powerful. His brand is $500 million. And to understand that, he told me this straight up: if you can't make money from my brand, then you don't need to be around me. That's probably the most critical advice he ever gave me, because I took that as a challenge. I put millions of dollars in Master P's pocket. Real talk. Because I'm like, you're right. You are right. And if I respect you the way I do, and if I'm telling you I could do what I say I could do, I should be able to put 7 figures in your pocket, and I did that. So that's how I take on P. So now me and P got, man, things and the blessings that I've gone through with my agency. I'm writing TV shows for P now. You know what I'm saying? So me and P are like getting into a partnership situation. It's moving there now, son. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm getting hyped right now. So it's moved from 8 years of me proving to him that I could do this to now we are potentially partners this year. You know what I'm saying? So the things that I'm pitching, I ain't gonna say too much, but think it's Master P. He said, I'm not doing TV no more. I want you to take me somewhere else. You fill in the blanks. There's only one other place you can go if you ain't doing television.
Come on. I can definitely dig that. Well, Steve, lastly, when is this thing airing over Revolt?
So the Revolt special is called From Pain to Powers, a Revolt special is airing on October 26th, on Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So please take a look at it. We got not only my son, Tamika Mallory, so plenty of the mothers, but we got, for you on the hip hop side, we got, man, my son, like I said, we got Drummer Boy, we got T.I., come on, man, Shabazz the OG, dropping knowledge. So we got a lot of things for a lot of people. So please come and tune in on Revolt TV. I appreciate you, man. This is just a not only historic piece just for Black people, but for just civil rights in general, you know, and everyone should watch this if you can. And how can folks contact you though, Steve? I mean, right now, at Steve Raze, R-A-Z-E, Z as in zebra, and AGA Agency. That's just as it sounds, AGA Agency. I can definitely dig it. Well, Steve, appreciate you coming through, my dog. My brother, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Man, 1,000. Wish you nothing but the best and much success. Be High Radio, shout it. It's Hot 107.9, man. Let's go.